Hello, hello. Alex, good to see you here. How are you? I can't hear you. Is it my side or yours? I think it might be your side. I can see your mouth moving. No, no voice. You've lost your voice. You need to go and plug it back in. Cool. While we're waiting for Alex, we are live in the Facebook group. This is your twice monthly call to discuss progress, questions, get support, whether it's your ad account, whether it's your frameworks you're building out, whether you're working on low ticket offers, whether you're working on client stuff, your own stuff. This is your call to ask me anything. So we'll wait for Alex to get back. And we've got a few late comers coming in as well.
Okay, you should hear me now.
I can hear you now, Alex. How's it going?
Yeah, my microphone was not plugged.
Oh, okay. That helps.
So
Now
so yeah,
we've lost the
indeed,
video.
complicated.
Yeah, now we've lost your video.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good, but we've lost your video though. So we had to give up the video for the microphone.
Yeah, we have to choose audio or video.
That's it. Let's do both. That looks good. New haircut?
Huh?
New haircut? New style?
Uh, Depends on the day. I would say
Yeah.
today, yes. Mayor told me, okay, today when you're going to record videos, just like come to me. I have to do something with your hairs.
That's getting into superstar celebrity status. Jordan,
Not
how
too
are you?
cold where you are.
Yeah, it is cold here. Yeah. Jordan, audio check. How's it going?
Oh, it's going well. How about you?
Awesome. Yeah, all good here. We've got the snow to enjoy. Snow, sunshine, good combo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's about that time, even over here as well.
Yeah. Where are you based again, Jordan?
I'm in Connecticut.
Connecticut. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So we're getting some flurries. We had rain yesterday. It's kind of
Mhm.
all over the place.
Yeah. Alex, you're still in Florida?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Is it good
So
there?
yeah, we have rain, we just don't have snow. We don't really know what it is. Sometimes just we say that when we are opening the freezer, that's it.
Fair enough. So Alex, tell me about how's things, how's business?
So business is doing good. Like I was saying on my post, like I have some problems, but I consider that being as good problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, because I'm wondering how to charge large accounts that are spending more. And I realize that it's normal, like how much I should charge, but that's probably how I should explain that to the client so he accepts that because he doesn't see me as I would expect him to see me. He value me, but he sees me like someone from his team, and the bill that is coming is not the same than what he's paying his team. And it
Yeah.
made me realize that because I have these clients and some others, and because I will get more clients through another contact that is specialized in Google
Yep.
and some other connections that I have, it's probably time for me to really make the move to relaunch a real agency to really like uh, have people organize things and basically like do like what you do or used to do.
Yep.
So I just don't so that I don't trade my time and be limited at the end of the day saying, okay, I cannot take more than X amount of customers because I'm limited with that. And the customers also when I believe that when you're alone working as a freelancer or like as a contractor, he just sees you. And so he doesn't value to pay you as much as an agency, where the agency has the office to pay, the account manager, the someone, the media buyer, the strategist, and all these things.
Yeah.
And when you have the agencies that comes with all these things, the clients say, "Oh yeah, okay, makes sense. You're taking 10% for all these things." But when you are a freelancer, at the beginning they always say yes, no problem, and as it will grow, we'll spend more budget, and then it will be
Yep.
good for you. up to the point where they're really spending a lot, and you start sending the invoice and say, ah, I got it last week. It was complicated to go through. So yeah, that's
So let me just
that's how
share
it's
with you
going.
something on that. So a
Mm,
lot of it's mindset. A lot of it is a mindset of you. I'm telling you,
yes.
this is me who's been through the same problem. When I first started off, I was the same thing. You know, freelancer. I actually started off figuring out my hourly rate and then figuring out how many hours I'm working on the client, and then started charging clients based on that. And I was massively undercharging for my services. Then I saw what other agencies were charging, then I'm charging more and things like that. If I fast forward that to now, I do deals with companies where I get paid a fixed fee plus a percentage of their revenue.
Mm,
I'm the only person involved. I'm a consultant.
yeah.
So in that regard, I'm still the same as you. I'm a freelancer. I don't have other people involved in this account. It's literally just me on a call every few weeks, and providing them the expertise that they don't have, which is growth strategy. So
Mm,
the clients earn 7 figures a year. They want to get to 8 figures. They don't need a media agency. They don't need freelancers, things like that. They need a strategic guide,
mm,
fractional CMO, or whatever you want to call it. So in that capacity, I will offer them a fixed fee, plus I will take a percentage of your revenue. And I've told that right from the start. And I've given forecast models to show what this could look like. And I want them to be excited by the growth, because the more money you make, the more money I make, and the more happier everyone is. But the thing is, I think it's our responsibility to look at the margins of the businesses we're working with and decide, is this viable? And if it is, make it clear right from the start that this is what we're going to look like. Like 2018, for example, our biggest clients, which when they joined, they were just paying a standard fee plus percent of ad spend, it grew significantly so that we were now charging $30,000 and $40,000 a month. And it was way more than the client was used to. And had the same problems. He's like, yeah, but you guys are doing the same work and you're getting paid so much more. And I'm like, you're making 10 times more than what we are. Like, your revenue, your profits are through the roof. But as a founder, it's very hard to digest in some cases. And what I learned is you have to model these things in advance and make it clear, we want to be successful for you. We want to be successful with you. And this is what it could look like. So, you're doing, $80,000 a month right now. If we get you to $800,000 a month and we're taking a percent of whatever it is, spend or revenue, this is what it could look like. So I do that now in advance, even if I don't have any idea if the client's going to work or whatever, because I want them excited by it, but I also don't want the surprise to come, 6 months down the line when we've scaled them significantly. And now, I've gone from billing a small amount to a very large amount, but I want them on the journey with me, that we're going to get rich together. And I think that's the best relationship, when you can be upfront and say, I want you to make money and I want to make money with you as well. And I think that
uh,
comes with setting the expectation right from the start.
and I completely agree with you. I believe that's a mindset problem. They value the work I do. They thank me for the work I do because they say that they are the point they are now, uh, thank because of the work I've done with them. And just to be transparent, I mean, it's a fashion brand. They're in apparel. We've started together when they were just launching the business in the US. Now they are doing 800K per month on their business. The goal was to get 3 times ROAS. I mean, like 3, 4 times. We are getting a 7, 8, 9 times ROAS on Facebook. So they are getting more and more. They're scaling slowly, but that was good because it was time for them to be really to check everything was working, change the warehouse. So that was great. Now their goal for next year is to achieve $25 million revenue. And I told them, as you probably know, you won't be able to achieve that if we keep the budget that we have now, even though we're spending like 80, 90K per month now. We will need more than that next year to be able to achieve that and say, yes, we know. Um, and they realize that it's not just like going, adding audiences, removing. So they agree, they know all, they just have a blockage about how much I'm paid for all these things. We've negotiated in the past a deal where I got a percentage of the revenue, and somehow like 2 months later, they call me and say, Alex, I'm sorry, I know we make this deal, but we need to back off because it's not going to work for us. Because it was working great, but I was paying great. So, okay, let's do that. Let's back off. Let's do like we used to be. And last year they offered me to have a 1 year contract. That was great. And they still want to do a 1 year contract for next year, which is also great. Um, I'm just, yeah, first I was trying to know, okay, how these big accounts, those that are spending millions of dollars per month, and that's really out of curiosity, how agencies are billing these big accounts, because I'm wondering, are they charging a percentage, even like
No,
7%?
not the larger levels. You'd end up with a spend cap. So I did send you a
Yeah,
link. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but
yeah, I've
on
seen it.
I sent you, I broke it all down. And the thing is, once you get to those larger levels, then you just have breakpoints. So if you're spending 500K a month, it's 30K fee. If you spend every 100K more than that, then it's 5K, 10K, whatever it is. And it has to be realistic, especially in ecom. With info product, it's different because the margins are way higher. Like e-commerce margins, 20-30% is normal. And that's where I also then like to look at revenue and a percentage share of revenue based on a baseline. So for example, if I take a new client on, I'll look at their last 3 months of revenue. Let's say it's 100K. I will then say it's X% of revenue above that plus a base fee. So
Yeah.
they're not immediately paying me for something I haven't done, right? You're doing 100K a month, great, that's your money. Anything above that, I'm going to take a piece of that. If we double it, triple it, quadruple it, then I'll take a piece of that because I'm directly now involved. So it just helps to balance those things out as well. And then it's also okay to renegotiate. Let's say, client went from 100K a month to 500K, and now you're taking a large percent, and they're like, yeah, we're going to negotiate. Okay, fine. But what does that mean in terms of my involvement? What do you expect from me? It's a two-way conversation. So you want to pay me less. I'm sure you don't want me to do less as well. So you're just balancing that out.
Yeah, the good thing is that we're transparent. We want to keep on working together. We just need to find something that is
That's
good
cool.
for each of us. I even ask, would you be open to give me shares of your company? Like I say, maybe a few percentage of that, not 15 or 10%, but
Is
a
he looking
few
to
of
sell
that.
the company?
What?
Is he looking to sell the company?
No, not right now.
Okay, because the shares are worthless unless he's looking to sell. So just be
Yeah,
mindful
yeah.
of his long-term plan as well.
Yeah, but I was planning that on a long term because they
Cool.
have a business in Europe, and I know that the business in Europe, this is not exactly the same owners, but that's same family. They are already doing like 3 million euros per month on that business, and I guess that at some point when you have that many revenue, the goal maybe in 5, 10 years, 15 years is just to sell that. Like a startup, say, okay, even if I have 3% now, that is value nothing because nobody would buy. Maybe in 10 years, yes, maybe it would be worth a few millions. That would interest me. I would be something. Anyway, there are
I'm
not.
just giving you some warning on this because I've done shares in businesses. Like, don't go in thinking it might happen. You need to be certain, right? What's your plan to sell this business? How long are you planning to take? You don't know factually, but if they're like, we're planning to sell it in maybe 10, 20 years time, I'd stay away from that. Like that's
Yeah.
just the world can change so much and everything changes. If they're like, right, we want to sell within 5 years, give or take, this is our goal, the exit strategy, you want to hit 100, that sounds to me a bit more appealing. Just be mindful, like
Yeah,
the cash in your
I
bank is
get
more
you.
important in the next 10 years than
Yeah.
hoping that shares come through.
Yeah, yeah, I get you, and I'm on board with you with that. It's just that for me, their plan is to be like one of the major players in the US, and I guess that if you want to play that game at some point, you just want to exit. I mean, you, yeah, maybe not. Maybe, I know some business owners that just want to keep the brand because it's their baby and they don't want to sell
Yeah.
it. But that was my bait. Anyway, that's out of the table. So, um. Yeah, I need to see the idea of having different plans depending. Okay, we are not going to work on percentage now. We're going to work on flat
You could do
fees.
thresholds, yeah, like this is the fee for this much spend, this is how it increases. And if they ever come back and say, well, why is the spend going up? You're not doing any more. Say it's not about whether I'm doing any more or not. It's what value am I delivering to you and what responsibility do I need to handle? Because if you're spending 10K a month, it's less responsibility to me than when you're spending 250K a month. So like
And
that's the way I'd balance that conversation.
and what I deliver is not only meta buying on Facebook, it's just like omni-channel now. We're going with Pinterest, Google, TikTok, and also some
Yeah.
CRO. And I'm acting also as a consultant because I'm telling them,
You're a
you
growth
know,
consultant. Absolutely.
yeah, that's all these things. So for me, it makes sense that yes, that's kind of a percentage, even though because they are growing, because I'm helping them to grow, they are doing a lot of things. The most important is on their side because they need to design the clothes. They need, this is what people are buying. It's not my fees, but I'm helping them to just like uh, be on a good spot to be able to scale what they would not be able to do if they would hire in-house, especially at the rate that they were mentioning, like hiring someone at 35K a year. I told them, you won't find someone, and if you find someone, it's definitely not going to be, it's going to be a rookie, and you're just going to destroy the what everything has been done so far. Um, so yeah, so that's the thing. And it made me thought because of that client, and then the Google. I said, okay, now I need to jump on the agency side, and somehow, and I works a lot with signals that are coming to me, and somehow we've been speaking back and forth for sometimes about what you're doing at the agency that you're helping people to build, and also say, okay, well, like I have a lot of signals to me saying, okay, I need to step up my plan and really go to that direction now.
Cool. And have a think about what that means for you as well. Because like if you go from freelancer doing everything to just hiring one person, you're now technically an agency because you can delegate work. You don't have to call yourself agency or think of yourself as that. You could be called a, growth consultancy. And that's
Yeah.
your product offering. And you just tell people, yeah, I have a team. I work with a team, whether it's one person or two people, team is a team. And then it gives you flexibility to decide what you want to do without being pigeonholed into an agency. Because a lot of businesses are turned off by the name agency as well.
Yeah, and the game it's not like we can name like agency or whatever it is. It's just like to have a system with a team, basically being able to help clients, having good resources in-house, best practices, process and systems. And again, in a few years, maybe 5, maybe 7, maybe 10, I don't know, maybe earlier if it works, reselling that because I know that there are some other
Absolutely.
companies looking for agencies if
100%.
there are process and system in place
Yeah,
and that the owner can exit without impacting too much
absolutely.
the business.
And this is something for all of you. If you are looking to exit a business, there's a deliberate path you need to take to growing your business. Like right now, I made that mistake because I think 2020, for some reason, companies started to approach us. We must have come up on a database or something. So they're approaching us about buying our company. I'd never been through that process before. So we didn't have the right things in place. So we didn't have employees. We had mostly freelancers. We didn't really own much assets, IPs, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's certain things you want to do right now if you are looking to sell to make sure you're structuring your business, your accounts, your team, everything in the right way. So it's easy to sell so you can disconnect everything or what you need. So for example, we had one bank account, one business, but we were selling info products and training and events and agency and stuff like that. To unpick all of that and sell the agency separately, it was a big task. So yeah, there's just a few things to look out for as well.
And this is very challenging to set up the agency at the beginning because even if you're hiring like a contractor, the best is like you're saying is to have employees on the payroll. It's just like you need to go after check so you know you can trust. Have someone that will come and will get you leads and clients
Yeah.
and having all these things. So I know that like for 6 months it's going to be really, really challenging, but
Yeah.
um, I know somehow I feel that it's the way to go. And this client is actually a good example. Say, okay, uh, I see my limits now.
Yeah.
I'm delivering a lot. He's happy. Just he doesn't somehow, and he's from Europe. So have that also in mind. He's from Europe. So in Europe, they are not used to pay so much in terms of invoices.
Cool. Keep us updated on the journey. Jordan, how's it going your side?
Pretty good. So I'm actually working on putting together product number one completely. I have the dramatic demo and then the order bump, which was just going to be basically the video from the dramatic demo, just make it a little bit easier. I had a question for you. So I've realized that there's some barrier to entry with getting people quick wins. They probably have to be in it for a little bit to get onto some of the professional selling platforms. So for product number one, I was thinking about making that pivot maybe to the recurring payment and almost offering a service. And a way to put it that might be understandable, it'd be almost be like drop shipping, but giving people the products that, these, could possibly be winners, or these can be things that you list. So I was almost thinking about going recurring payment right from the beginning. I don't know if like 89.99 or 79.99 or somewhere in that range might work, because basically what would happen with the dramatic demo and even the video version of the dramatic demo, they'd have an idea of how to do it. They know exactly what to do. They could do it on their own. It would just be a lot of work. So essentially, if you're giving them the data and things like that, where they can go in and, try to list those, it might make it easier. So I was thinking about doing basically for product number one, giving them some VA training, and then maybe having the data list go into some kind of a community like a Slack channel or something like that, and basically let them know like, hey, you could do it on your own, but this is going to speed up your process. And each either like week or month, basically give them lists. I was just kind of wondering what you thought about that and get some ideas.
So the first thing, it sounds viable. The second thing, I'd be a bit concerned if you're considering moving away from what you had before to now where you are. The only question is, has your avatar changed, or your understanding of the avatar, like who you're targeting? Because the material you had could help people that are already doing drop shipping to shift into a new market, but now
Yep.
maybe you're talking about people that have never done drop shipping. So two very different prospects.
Oh, so it would actually be the same exact avatar. Basically, targeting people that are doing drop shipping or that want to get into drop shipping digital items, which would be the tickets instead of physical items. So it'd be the same thing. I was just kind of trying to get an idea for product one, which I don't have built out at the moment. I know I did the dramatic demo and the video version of that basically. So I was just coming up with an idea for product one to help get people started and get them quick wins, whether they've been doing it for a while or whether they haven't.
And what happened to the offer that you wanted to push out? We last spoke about.
Um, so I know originally I just had the demo. Then I was going to do the order bumps as far as the video
Yeah.
sales course. And I guess the offer, were you wondering like what I would basically say, well, today it's only going to be this amount of money.
Well, I guess I'm more keen for you to get traction first and then decide where you can take that traffic. So it's like you're not turning on the taps yet because you're still trying to figure out the plumbing. But I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather turn the taps on and just see how that flows. So if you have an offer that's potentially ready to go out and market that and see if the ads, the angles, the site, the conversion is working. Then you can filter that traffic into another offer or a product. But I would go for that data first and get the first sales in, and go and ask them like, what can I help you with next? Even like, I'll give you an example. When I launched the CBO cookbook in 2019, one of the things I did is for everyone in the first 2 weeks of buying, I did an open Q&A call, 2 hours. My goal was twofold. Number one, I just wanted to create some video content that I could use for marketing from actual questions that people are asking. Secondly, I wanted to know what people are asking, like what did I miss in the book, or what are people more focused on and stuff like that. So even though I felt like I had a good solution, I ended up doing customer research, but I sold that as a bonus. So we're going to have this Q&A call, 90 minutes. I'll answer all your questions. And I think about 150 people turned up from however many people purchased. And the questions were great because it helped me to determine, how do I need to pitch this product to solve the problems that people really, really have? And then do I
Yeah.
need to change my product at all? And then obviously I create video content from the end of it. But the key thing there is I just went out, pushed it. I wasn't sure if it was the right thing, the right product, got the data, and then started to adapt it and move on and developed other ideas off the back of it as well.
Interesting. Okay, so you're more saying that at this point that I should start with the dramatic demo and then maybe just do the order bump, like the video version of it, start to get the data, see what people think.
Get some sales coming in, get the leads coming in, start some conversations, and let the data lead you to where you need to go. I did the same with ad signals. We launched it start of 2022. What it started off with to what it is now is very different because I didn't really know what the market needed. I knew there was a potential gap for something like this. Got people in, and by the way, the first 100 paying customers are crucial because they will give you so much data, like everything you need to know about what's good and what's bad. We collected all that, and then we started to evolve it and create a product roadmap from that to develop other ideas for offers, starting to do boot camps, adding a few more things into ad signals and removing things as well. So, but the thing was, we just started. So, to be honest, and I think we launched it February 2022. We weren't ready. I wasn't 100% sure this is the right product, and there were gaps and things I wasn't happy with. But for me, it was just getting the data first was the most important part.
Interesting. Okay, so with that being said, then if I'm doing like $7 for the dramatic demo, and then
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't really have a price, whether it's like $29.99 or $39.99 for the
Yeah.
video. Should I do something else like, okay, here's this, and this, and maybe some virtual assistant training, try to bump it up a little bit more before I look at that whole recurring system? Or how do you think I should go
I
about
would say so,
structuring
yeah, because
that
recurring's
request?
hard to get into without data. Because
Okay.
I did that with ad signals, but bear in mind, I'd been running in the info space for 2, 3 years with a similar product with trainings and stuff like that. So when I launched my subscription, I knew who my avatar was. At least I knew that. Maybe I didn't quite understand what they needed. So I think for
Okay.
you, although you have an idea of who your avatar is, when you get those sales coming in, you'll start to understand, you start to refine that avatar just based on the feedback you're getting, running type form surveys, post-purchase, anything like that, or even just back and forth email. Because even if it's 10, 20, 50 customers, just a one-to-one email from you will be quite powerful. So that you start to build that rapport and understanding with your prospects and see what they need help with. They will tell you that.
Okay. So right now you think I should probably like forego doing any of the community stuff and
I'd say yes, because it's a
okay.
lot of work. That's the thing. Like
Right,
it's not
right.
simply just knock up a community and things will be great. There's a lot of planning and setup and management and customer service that goes into actually not just launching it, but making sure, because the thing about community is retention. Like you cannot just launch it and hopefully things will work out. We spent a lot of time, right? How do we retain people? How do we keep people interested in things like that? And that needs a lot of work. And my only fear would be that it could easily take you another 20, 30 days to get that rolling and be ready
Mm.
to roll that out and start running ads and tests. In the meantime, you've lost that time to actually reach the market with a message and see what they think of what you're proposing without putting too much effort in.
Okay. This makes a lot of sense. And then is there a certain amount of money that I should be charging on the back end that's reasonable? Like, with that $7 offer, 20. I just don't know. I mean, I guess I'm not really looking to necessarily make or expecting to make a bunch of money, but just something that I should be aiming for to at least break even or get ahead a bit on ad spend.
Yeah, so my view is always to start low, see how the data is going, then increase the prices. And you can always justify that as a limited item offer and the price is going to go up. It's harder to drop the prices. I want the highest conversion, first of all. So I want people clicking my ad, buying, going through the upsells, as many people as I can. And then if I feel like conversion is going really well, then I'm going to increase the price. So maybe $7 to 17 to 27, and then
Mm.
see where I can get away with a good conversion and aim to get a good break even on my ad spend. So if your front end ends up being $7, but your back end is giving you $50 overall in terms of that transaction, then that's great. Your cost per acquisition is $50 and you can work with that.
Okay. So do you think that something like $7, I don't know, like 39.99 for the video, or 29 or 39.99 for the video course, and then maybe an upsell just to teach them virtual assistant training or something like that would make sense for another like 40 or $50?
Yeah, I think so. My only recommendation is if the price is 1 or 2 digits, so definitely with 1 digit, have zero decimal places, so $7 as opposed to 7.99, unless you're selling a book, because books are commonly sold with a decimal. As you go up, then like if you say 29.99, there's just some psychological research put into it that people remember the last part. So although it's 29, they'll remember the 99. So when they're saying it in their head, it sounds more expensive than it actually is. So just stick to single digits. I'll just keep it simple. So
Okay.
$7, $29, $39, whatever it is, and then test it. If no one's buying the upsells, but they are buying the $7 product, then you know you need to work on the upsell page. And then you can
Okay.
tweak it. Because the thing is, again, they're very low prices for what you're offering, but if they're not converting, you know, price isn't the barrier. It's something
Mm,
else. It's the message. It's the pitch, the product, or something.
makes sense. And then I guess I just had a question on the actual headline. I have one written up that I just came up with quick. It was actually the name of the book, but it might make a good headline as well. I was just saying how drop shipping digital items is making people money in under 24 hours without needing any money to get started. Something like that. Would that make a decent headline, or just what you think about refining it?
That depends on your avatar's biggest pain point. So I reviewed a landing page earlier, and it was for someone that's looking to run ads on Facebook, but to get them to buy his YouTube ad script. And the headline at the top was, are your something like, are your Facebook ads results slowing down? And I
Mm,
said, that doesn't really mean anything. Like, what does it mean by slowing down? It's either, are your ads getting more expensive, or is your profit dropping? Be specific on what the avatar's pain is. But on the flip side, be clear on what their objection would be to your product. So for YouTube, the main objection is, I don't want to do a video. So he's selling to call sellers, for example. So many people don't have the confidence to go in front of a video. Many people don't know the scripting and how to get things done. So a lot of people don't use YouTube. So then we worked on changing the headline to solving the key pain point on Facebook, which is rising costs and lower profit, but then solving the biggest objection on his product, which was without needing to be an expert video, whatever it was, I can't remember the exact wording, but without having to be an expert orator or creative person. We give you the scripts, and that was his headline. Like, we give you all the YouTube training plus the scripts on how to actually make it work for your courses. So be mindful of, you're solving the biggest problem right now, but what's their objection to the thing that you're selling them as well? So if you're
okay.
saying the objection is, I don't have money to put down, I'd kind of also argue that might not be a good prospect for you, because if they don't have money to invest in their product, they might not have money to invest in you as well. So that
Gotcha.
might not be the right person you want to bring in. Maybe the people you want to bring in is, they've had some success, but maybe, they've been burnt by AliExpress or
Yo.
whatever it is. And maybe handling goods and refunds and stuff is really hard, but hey, yours is virtual, it's tickets, it's, you don't have to worry about shipping products and stuff.
So I could just like hit on pain points like without dealing with market saturation or without account bans or things like that. I could throw in the message.
Yeah, just I'd go deeper into, like, where are they right now? What's holding them back from being successful in their own drop shipping? And then use those as rebuttals for your own offer.
Okay. And then the last part was just my landing page. I actually have my funnel builder building it out with the landing pages examples that you gave me. I was just wondering, for example, I have like, I remember when you guys asked in Mexico if I had proof of concept. So I don't
Yeah.
have customers yet, but for example, I have a bunch of like sales data on my side. Like I could take pictures and screenshots of the different sales I've had and the back end. I just don't know how much is going to be too much because I know it's the long page sales form. So I guess just coming up with ideas on things I could fill in there without having testimonials. I could put pictures up of me, different sales. I don't know, maybe like going to concerts or events or just certain things, but just kind of some ideas to I guess how much would be too many pictures of sales that came in for me. Or is there really like a limit or something like that?
I don't know if there's a limit. I mean, you don't want to go crazy and just put like 100
Right.
screenshots, but at the same time, 3 or 4 is a good number, as long as it's kind of, you might have a screenshot and then it's just explain what it means. So this is, what I did with this is what I put into it. Screenshots are good, but people want context. So I think that's the first thing. Second thing is, it doesn't just need to be testimonials. You could talk about the economy. You could talk about lifestyle changes. Maybe more people are going to concerts, and there's still an
Mm-hmm.
increase after COVID. I don't know what it is, but you could maybe pull out some facts and figures based on how people are enjoying events, how Taylor Swift literally just drops an event and sold out within seconds. But those kind of things you can kind of use to get them into the mood to get into that as a seller. And then talk about, economy concerns with China and US relations, and drop shipping might be affected. So you can just play on things like that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool. BJ, how are you?
I am very well, thank you.
Awesome.
First of all, our buddy AJ is reaching out to you if he already hasn't.
Okay.
All right.
He hasn't.
Yeah, he and I were on earlier today. His Facebook accounts got shut down,
Oh no.
and then his Facebook profile got shut down.
Do you know
And
what
he
happened?
like I'm trying everything, but like I'm not making any headway. And it's like, do you know anybody who I could talk to? Like AJ.
That's funny.
Reach out to our buddy Depesh. He's like, oh my gosh. He goes, and he's just so in the trenches of it. He's not seeing the forest for the trees. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll wait for his message.
Okay. All right. All right. I am doing very, very well. And so last week with the War Room call, you said something about unique mechanism that your the book that you had produced, that was a unique mechanism, specific to you, nobody else had it. And I recognize that with one aspect of my coaching process here is like, wait a minute, nobody else has this. I have a unique mechanism. So for my this mini workshop idea that I'm going to be doing as my dramatic demonstration, and for that quick win is what I've decided to do, and I spoke to my partner for Bionic Teams, Kayala. He and I spoke about this on Friday. We are putting Bionic Teams on the back burner for now as that new offer. Since I have this learning curve with Facebook ads, messaging, marketing overall, what I have that is absolutely rock solid is the expose the blind spot process of my mental toughness, future self coaching process. That I can coach blindfolded and with my hands tied behind my back. I can be Houdini. So let me go with what I know. Let's take out one variable here. And because with that process, I can also get somebody through to an incredible transformational quick win. So my copywriter and everybody else is now on board, and all that is taken care of. I have been digging into the 5W avatars. So what I'm doing with AJ for marketing messaging and my buyer persona there is going to help tremendously with the 5W avatar work. I love the training, Depesh, just outstanding.
Cool.
I do have a question. I'll come back to it after I kind of give an update here on where I'm at. So the goal overall is to, by the January 3rd meeting, our next one here post-holiday, is to have the ad copy and the funnel copy ready for your review.
Cool.
Okay. So that being said, let's see.
So just on that, so considering the advertising core four, so there's four things I look for: product, audience, offer, and funnel. It sounds like you're working on three of them. I'm curious to know about the offer. So you've talked about the product, the avatar, you've got the work, funnel, and ad copy.
We're still working on, so the offer, as far as the structure, the deliverable from the offer, that is going to be like, what is it that they're buying? This is going to be the paid mini workshop. So whether I'm going to price that at $47 or $97 to be determined.
Yeah.
And as far as the transformational process I'm going to take them through, it's going to be the expose the blind spot process, which is the root cause. So the root cause, however it is that we work out the messaging, the why, the wow, the emotional transformation,
Yeah.
that is to be determined yet, right? I'm still working through that, but I know what it is that I'm going to be coaching them on in the mini workshop is I'm going to be taking them through a guided presentation for them to expose their specific unique blind spot, because everybody has a blind spot that's unique to them. That is the root cause of all of the procrastination, the doubt, the excuses, the hesitation, the resistance, the avoidance, all the BS. And so they will come out of that with knowing exactly what is going on inside of his or her head. This is my block. This is what is limiting me in my evolution, my growth as a business owner. And then of course there will be then the upsell to the coaching, which will then be the process on how to control it and how to overcome. They will come full circle, problem to solution, and then I will present the next problem.
So I have an idea for you. I don't know if it'd work, but the process sounds like it's self-discovery, and they could probably give you some information, and you could give them advice back on kind of what's, where they are. I wonder if there's scope in your funnel to add a quiz where, for example, you define the quiz and the results are based on what the quiz scores are. But then the call to action is, you're this person or whatever the outcome is, join this workshop where I will go deeper into that. So actually you're pre-framing them and giving them a very quick win initially, because that will take them 2-3 minutes, whatever it is, to get through. It's low cost for them because it's free and it doesn't take too long. But then what you're doing is you're giving them a breadcrumb and saying, here's, like, I'll give you an example, disc profiling. So there's many websites that will allow you to do disc profiling for free. And at the end of it, they don't give you the depth of what to do next. It's like, now purchase the report or now go and do this. I don't know if something like that could work, because then it makes the barrier of entry a lot.
Yeah, because then it becomes a quiz funnel. So uh I had worked with Ryan Levesque quite a while before COVID on before COVID hit on the idea of a quiz funnel. So this is something I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
I have access to all that material. I had actually explored that for this process back then, and then COVID and everything got sidetracked. So that's a possibility as well, and that's something that I could do like as an A/B test, run one funnel as a quiz funnel, and run the other one as the direct to the paid mini workshop.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the quiz funnel with the ads, it'd be very easy to angle it in terms of, if you've ever suffered from these things, then, you're probably blindfolded by XYZ. Click here to complete the quick 3-minute survey to find out where you score. And now all of a sudden all they're doing is going for a survey, and your survey's goal is to, get them to obviously get to the workshop.
Paid workshop.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's
and also you capture emails as well, because once they've done the quiz, you could, for example, either just simply say, hey, if you want me to send these results to your email, enter it here. Or you could say, oh, by the way, if you also want the free report that comes with it, and it's just like a 1 or 2 pager, stuff. But again, you're trying to promote the workshop. But the advantage there is by getting them to do the quiz, the know and like is already there. And then by getting them to look at that PDF in their inbox, the trust comes in, because now you can put your face there. Now you can put your testimonials, and you're giving them value, but you're also pre-selling yourself, and then you sell the workshop there as well.
I think that is a very valid direction, given time. Where what's coming off the top of my head is like, yes, that's definitely something I would want to do. That's definitely something I would want to test. Development of a quiz and the reporting then that comes after that. While it's not overly time intensive, it's still additional time for when I want to actually launch something.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it might be a 2-step process. Let me launch what I can really quickly here in the beginning of January, while people are in the mindset of new year, new goals, crush the year. And get that launched, and then start to build the quiz. Still in Q1.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
But having been through the quiz funnel building process before and knowing, okay, even just building out the reporting part, let alone just identifying what the actual variables would be. So yes, absolutely doable. It's just more time intensive here at this point.
Cool. So when you come to that stage, I think we can skip a few steps there because we've done that ourselves with Typeform, and it's fairly easy to basically send a score into your email database. So we use Active Campaign, and with Active Campaign, based on a tag for a customer profile, you can put conditional content into the actual email itself. So basically, all we did is we create the quiz. They would get tagged based on their score, or you could put their something else, whatever it is, the status, the identity. And then in Active Campaign, it's just one email first, and then it's just different blocks based on which tag you got. Then the series leads on, and it's exactly the same for everyone. So that there are ways to bypass that as well. And
All right, well, that's good to know as well. And I do have Active Campaign and Typeform accounts too. So
yeah,
so I'll take a closer look at that as well.
sure.
But it's a great suggestion. I appreciate that.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah. So, all right. So I have a question. Do I have the ability to share my screen?
Yes, you should be open.
Give me one.
I saw a hand popping up, a virtual hand. I don't know who was doing that, but yeah, maybe drop it in the chat. Let me know.
Let's see, share. Okay, this is the transcript of the 5W avatar video for copy mastery. And I have a question about this ending section here, which is about the why not, that I'm not putting the why not in the ad copy, but I'm going to be testing for that. And then I'm going to be doing retargeting. I didn't understand this.
Yeah, so they're potential rebuttals. So sometimes I do use them in my top of funnel ad copy. So for example, it'd be like, hey, everyone's blindsided by something in the business. Here's why, here's what goes on. And maybe you're thinking ... and then it's a rebuttal. So maybe you're thinking I'm too busy for this, or I don't have time for it, I don't believe it. So sometimes you can bring a rebuttal.
I don't have time to build a quiz funnel.
Yeah, exactly. And so if I was targeting you with my quiz funnel product, I'd say maybe you don't have time for it, but here's how you can do it really quickly. And then I'm trying to break down those objections before you even click the ad. So that can sometimes work. But often my rebuttals come in either on the landing page. So there'll be a section on maybe you think it's time consuming or expensive or things like that. And then in my retargeting ads, often one of those rebuttals is the reason why you didn't convert first time around. So then I'm now thinking, how can I repitch the rebuttal, maybe show a testimonial, which is like, hey, I thought this was going to be so time consuming, it was so quick, and now I've made loads of money. So I'm just trying to think about how to bring that back in.
Okay, slow that down for me. And so somebody goes to my ad, right? And is this a static ad or a video ad?
Doesn't matter. It's just like wherever you want to present the content, whether it's a video or just on the text itself, it's how you want to present it.
Okay, so either way, they didn't click through, but then I'm going to retarget them.
No, I'm talking about the people that did click and saw your sales page. If at that they didn't convert, then one of the rebuttals is still there.
Okay, so they clicked, they saw the landing page, they didn't convert.
Yeah.
So now in a retargeting ad, the retargeting ad is now addressing a why not.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the part I wasn't getting.
Yeah. And often I like to run different ads for different rebuttals and just see how they perform. Often I'll run 2 or 3 rebuttals together and they all generally work. So I know that these are the main ones that are holding people back. Price, time, benefit, things like that.
What do you generally see statistic-wise for people who didn't convert on the landing page originally? So because then the retarget is going to go to the same landing page or a different landing page?
Usually the same. If you've got enough traffic, then maybe to a different landing page.
Okay. Yeah. So in the percentage of people who don't convert, on the first ad to the first view of the landing page. What do you typically then see statistically wise for conversion of that subset?
Much higher. Yeah.
Much higher 50%, much higher 80%.
So let's say a typical thing, you might have, let's say 1% conversion rate at top of funnel. You might see anywhere between 8-10% at bottom of the funnel. So they're highly vested by that point because they've clicked an ad, they've visited. So there's just something holding them back, and you just need to tip them over to make a decision.
Okay, so it's like they're on the fence. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something that triggered them to click in
Yeah.
the ad, but the landing page didn't get them all the way over.
That's
But
right.
then the retarget, that's the missing piece for them and gets them over the
Yeah,
fence.
because some people they just need a bit more urgency. So one rebuttal might be, now's not the right time. I'll think about it. Like it's a typical kind of sales conversation. If you had a prospect on the call, then how do you turn that into action? It's giving them scenarios and saying, how different is your life going to be in 3 to 6 months' time if you continue doing what you're doing, versus if you just give up 3 minutes and do this thing or buy this product or whatever it is. That could be life changing, just like it was for Bob, who did this and did that. And, look at his life now. So you're trying to just prove to them that the commitment you're asking for, whether it's time or money, has a high potential of working for them. There's no guarantee, but you just want to convince them. So it's just finding that rebuttal and finding a way to demonstrate to them that it's an invalid reason not to take action.
Okay. All right. And then proprietary respect question here. As I work with my team, which includes AJ and my copywriter for writing the ad copy, for the messaging and stuff, there's aspects that are coming out of the 5W that I want to be able to share with them so we're all on the same page. I spoke to AJ about it, and him confirming that anything that I would just share with him from your program, is only between him and me and not something he would go outside of. So I want to make sure that that's within the scheme here with you as well, that's okay to do that, as I
Yeah,
work with.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Otherwise, there's a big communication drop.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, this is like you're using our frameworks, but you're building it for your business. At that point, it's kind of yours. Now, obviously, I don't expect that you're going to sell the 5W avatar as your own, but you're
No.
using it to help grow your business, sharing it with your team. Like that's totally normal.
All right, understood. So, all right, that is all for me. And anything else I need to be aware of at this point?
Not that I can think of. Cool. Good progress. Pavel, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here, just pretty late, so I'm off camera already.
How's
joined a bit.
your lighting, by the way? Did you get it fixed?
Well, I mean, in a different way. I have a
Okay.
star projector and some LED lights, but not
Oh, cool.
the sort that we're talking about. So no, I guess not. But the
Okay.
good news is my store that I bought from a friend of mine last year just started to pop off. So I'm very
Oh,
happy to
cool.
see it.
Awesome. What
Might
are you selling?
I'm selling a star projector.
Oh, cool. Oh, there you go. So you've made
So
your first sell.
yeah, well, more than that, yeah. But
Okay, cool.
yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, there you go. Super simple. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it everywhere.
Yeah,
Um,
I've seen these. Cool.
but yeah, it looks like I'm gonna. Well, I have ROAS of about 4 right now.
That's
I hope
awesome.
to do maybe like $40,000 in revenue with what, like 20-25% profit margin. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
not too bad. I mean, if I can do that in December, I'll be happy with like an extra 8K. So.
And is this something you can build like a set of products for, or is it just a one product store?
I mean, well, I mean, technically, you can add LED lights and like some sunset lamps and go more into that direction. But yeah, I don't know. It works really well as just a very seasonal one product store. So I think I'm just gonna keep it at that and just start. I'll probably keep some ads when it's winter and it's getting dark at 4 p.m. So it tends to work well till about February, but of course the biggest month is December, people buying it for kids and
Yeah.
I had some people buying like 3, 4 projectors at a time, which is
So,
crazy. So Yeah, that's good. I have a good deal on that one. So I'm looking at my own
Sure.
stores, the agency. I think, well, I mean, November was struggle in terms of getting results.
Okay.
Had, one client panic, one client left, although they removed me from the Shopify, but it didn't remove me from from their ad account. So funny
Okay.
thing is the ads that, well, the campaigns and everything else we set up around mid-November, they're still running it and it's now actually quite profitable. So yeah, I think it was just a matter of people like literally not wanting to buy these products yet, and they just started buying in December, which a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I think we're sort of getting back on track. I don't know why November was just so poor, and Black Friday wasn't a success for me.
Mm.
But it looks like December is doing slightly better. I also hired someone who started a small Upwork management agency
Oh,
to
cool.
help with outreach and help find leads and book calls. So we'll see how it goes. Um, they they started, I think, yesterday, literally. So that's good. Had some
So,
people from
so
Upwork
just
come back.
so just to
Yeah.
clarify, they'll set up the profile for you and manage all the projects and be.
So I have actually two profiles. One is mine. One I bought from someone who had a really good profile. So they're using both, and they have some searches for quality jobs,
Yeah.
and are sending proposals to the most qualified jobs. So between
Maybe.
sort of 6 to 20 a day. I mean, right now I sort of expect things to be quiet, but it seems like it wasn't just me who struggled in November. So a lot of people that
Yeah.
hired different other agencies, it seems like they're starting to maybe look for a different one, and they're hitting me up. Some people that I spoke to in September or October that went with someone else now said like, hey, are you open for a quick call, etc. So they're coming back, which again, it's probably unfortunate because sometimes, the agency might have done everything right. It was just not a good month. But hey, I'll take it. If that's how I'm gonna get clients, then if other agencies to clients from me that way too. So,
Of
that's just how
course.
it goes.
And
Um,
what's your kind of longer term plan to focus on agency or e-commerce or both?
yeah, good question. So actually both. So I, now that I'm running an agency on my own, as you know, since for about 6 months now, I found there's still a lot of things that are not optimized as well as I would like in terms of training procedures, what we do with the accounts. Media buyers, I mean, they're following similar strategies, but each media buyer in the agency is running accounts slightly their own way,
Okay.
which, when it works, but when it doesn't, it's a problem. So there are still a lot of things that I need to work on to make sure that I
And you
can
need to set
remove
up
myself from.
Pavel AI as well, so they start following your own
Yeah,
processes.
yeah, Pavel AI, and I think some more traditional, like more checklists, probably just like, hey, when you start an account, make sure this is happening. This because there's some obvious things that I got on a call with them, and I asked them like, why did you do it this way? And they just look at me, just blank stares, sort of like, I don't know, it just happened. So, there's those things that I need to fix, and without, when I'm looking at the accounts very closely, then the accounts are doing well. And then when I step back, they continue to do well for about a month, and then the performance drops. So there are clear things for me in the agency to improve with in terms of operations.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean that's good. In terms of the pricing, I'm also working on increasing my pricing even further. I think working with Ines has helped me a little bit. We decided that maybe it wasn't the best fit. I don't think she's maybe that much into e-commerce, and I think Black Week is starting like literally 2 weeks before November. Maybe that was a little bit much for her.
Yeah.
And kind of I've seen media buyers get really burned after or burned out after Black Friday week. But she did tell me that I'm definitely undercharging, and that's causing all sorts of problems as well, like with training, hiring better people, hiring more people, all that thing. So, but going back to the plan, so I want to make sure that agency is running with less direct involvement from me and things like I shouldn't be worried that accounts will start underperforming if I don't look at them for 2 weeks, right? And second thing is ecom. Yeah, so I would like to have several stores that I can potentially sell, or just run for cash flow and build some brands. So these are the two directions I'm looking at right now.
Cool. It's looking good. So the thing I'd recommend to all of you is be clear on your 12-month plan and create quarterly plan goals based on that. So what your plan is for 12 months, so revenue based, whether it's clients or customers, health, wealth, all the things that matter to you, plan those out for the next 12 months, prioritize them, whether it's 3 or 10 things, it doesn't matter, but then break it down into achievable quarterly goals and start with Q1 January to March. What do I want to get done? So, for you, Jordan, it would be, I want to get my first paying client and I want to hit this revenue target or this number of customers, and then build those goals in. And like the biggest thing about growth is momentum. So getting that first win, then the second winning, building and building and building. Momentum's everything. Whether you gain it or lose it, is the difference between your business being successful or just being a noose around your head. Someone in a WhatsApp chat that I'm in said he's looking for an entrepreneur to help co-found a business or whatever, and he's looking for someone that won't die easily, which is what he said. And it just made me think that, we're on the roller coaster of growth. We're constantly dying and resurrecting because it's just so stressful at times with a business, especially as you're getting traction. And there'll always be problems. When I started my first e-commerce store, 2016, started from scratch, got products in from AliExpress, etc. I got a message from Adidas to say I need a license to sell their shoes. Now, I never sold this kind of stuff before online. And then my store got taken down. So, that's just a random thing that I would never have predicted or projected. And then you have to start again from scratch and say, right, and now I need to do either non-branded or I have to pay Adidas for a license, which I don't have the money for. So these problems are always going to come. Growth is always up and down. But at least when you have your focus, right, this is my 12-month goal, it's easier to take those hits and keep focused on where you need to get to as well.
Are you still running your China store? Are you still working with these guys?
It's live, but we're not marketing. We're not running ads to it right now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
just curious.
Just in terms of focus.
Right.
Cool. All right. So good progress. Keep obviously the goal on 2024 and what's going to matter for you and also for Pavel and Alex for your clients as well, and push back on your pricing, your offers, even put something together for Q1 for 2024. It could be to reignite old clients or prospects that maybe fell in the cracks, try and bring those back in and talk about what you're doing for 2024. It's one of the things that we did really well in the agency was we would always talk about what we're planning to do. So it might trigger something in a prospect or an existing client that says, oh, I know someone else who could benefit from that. So don't forget to keep communicating with your past prospects and also your existing customers on what you're doing and where you're taking your business as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Need to sit down and write that plan, as you said. I think that would be interesting to get that, because it's so easy to just get bogged down with things that pop up and
Absolutely.
just those things that you can cross out of your to-do list easily, but are actually not that important. And then the important things just all of a sudden 6 months pass and they're still there, the same things. So
absolutely. Cool. All right, good stuff. Our next session is the first week of Jan. Obviously, the Slack channel is there. Keep sharing stuff, keep communicating. We'll reconvene the first week of Jan and look forward to seeing what progress we've made at that point as well. Cool stuff. Cheers, guys. Speak soon.
Cheers.
thank you. Bye.
Okay,
Bye,
awesome.
everyone.
Bye.